European, Indian, and gotta come together as one. We've been reading the Bible and understand what it says. Dear Lord, it says, "Better is the hands that give it than the ones that take it. Blessed is the hands that give it than the ones that take it." Baby. Hey, you Rastaman, hey, European, Indiana, Manigari, get race one. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now let's go to the creator tube. Get the creator tube. We find out where is inside there, what is inside there. Today we are dealing with human cells, because the topic of the day is how to understand cancer, understanding something called cancer, a topic that many people don't want to listen about, but it is what it is. Sometimes when you want to understand something, you need to talk about it. It's a killer disease. So many people have been in and out of hospitals because of it. And so I think it is an important step we give a chance to this topic and we discuss what is cancer. But it is what it is. Sometimes when you start discussing some things, it really hurts some people. This topic was a topic that came around when some of us at a topic were discussing, and everyone was commenting about cancer, and the moment we realized that, so it's good to change the topic of the day to understand what cancer is. Cancer is a big thing in the society. Let's go here. Nature of a cell. Cells of the body. Cells of the body. We have several cells of the body. Cell structure. The first thing we were talking about when it was a biology class. We were talking about something called cells of the body. That one, every person who is in high school, who is in primary school, always talked about the cells of a body. Cell structure in the nucleus, cell structure everywhere. Cells are everywhere. Everything that you have in your body is because of the cells. Even your beard, these are cells. Even your nail, that is a cell. So it is really important when you understand some things in micro perspective, because it comes from micro is small thing, and then it explodes to a bigger thing, which is micro, then a tissue. It comes to a cell, then cells, they form tissues, then tissues come on and form an organ. So an organ forms a living thing, something that is human, something that can do something. You see, so the real thing when we're talking about cells of the body, life starts with a cell. Life starts with a cell, one cell, and then it progresses to several cells in someone's body. Then it progresses to several cells in someone's body. So if life starts with the cell. It means even cancer itself starts from a cell. So before we go to the topic of the day, we really need to talk about particular issues that are very minute and that may make us understand what is the topic of the day and it will make us understand the creation of some things. So if you want to understand what cancer is, we need to know the normal thing. As per, you see behind me we have a chart that is written some cells, but those ones are white blood cells. You see, those ones are white blood cells from another previous discussion that we had, So let's get going, my people who are coming in. Everyone who will be in and out, everyone who will be joining us, welcome to the platform. As you check it out, remember your likes are important to show impressions. So if you will be joining, the topic of the day is understanding cancer. The topic of the day is understanding cancer. How do we understand cancer? How do we understand that cancer is how do we understand how it comes and how it is? How is it a disease? Because people say that cancer is a disease, a bad disease. So when you listen to what people talk about a disease, any disease that is pathologic and is brought by a bacteria, that one can be treated. But how comes that the cancer cells cannot be treated? It's important we understand cancer cells. Our time is here. It is 4:30 in PM time, East African time, and that is the time that we kick out and we pick up from there and we continue. So the topic of the day today is cancer. But before cancer, we need to understand what are the cells of the body. Here we have several types of cells in the human body. And these cells, they help a person to come up with the body that you have. You can life starts from a cell. I've said life starts from a cell. So when you come up with a cell, and then it graduates to a tissue, and then from a tissue it starts to form organs, and then from the organs it forms the body that you have. It is important to note that life starts from a cell, and a cell is the beginning of cancer. So we want to know the types of cells that we have in the body, that are in our bodies, so that we understand what cancer is. Now, the human body is made up of trillions of specialized cells. Trillions. Just imagine, your body as a human is made up of trillions of specialized cells, each designed to perform each function. Because I said life starts from a cell, and then it graduates to some specific modes of function. So if life starts from a cell, the differentiation and coming up with other cells gradually comes so slowly. These cells work together to maintain life, and that's why a human being is alive, because of the cells of the body support growth and ensure proper functioning of organs and systems. Every cell that you have in your body ensures that you are functioning so well and you are proper functioning in your body. So we have several types of cells. That a human body has. Like let's go to epithelial cells. Epi means above, or things that are outer. Epi means above or things outer. So epithelial cells, their function is to protect. Okay. I'm seeing it. There is something that is popping out. Okay. Functions are like, you see, epithelial cells are specialized cells. And when you hear epithelial cells, it means above or outer cover. So outer cover cells, these ones are made of protection, absorption, filtration, and secretion. So secretion means they produce several things. They produce several things like, what can we say? They produce epithelial cells. They produce special secretions that help your body, but also they protect your body. So outer cover of your body has epithelial cells. So where are they found? Where are the epithelial cells found? They are found along the skin lining of the digestive tract inside, because even inside it has the outer cover that is taking care of the inner part. You get it? But outer cover, we have the skin. The skin also is an epithelial cover. So it has got epithelial cells, outer. So when I talk about epithelial, I'm saying epithelial outer cover. Epithelial outer cover. So we continue and say the lining of the digestive tract. The lining of the digestive tract, it has got an epithelial cover inside, but it is outer cover. We have Boss1, welcome to the platform. I can see Boss1 is here. Boss1, welcome so much. Boss1, Uncle has said you share the link of this live. Please share the link to him so that he can come on the live, please. Boss1, if you are listening, share. Today we are starting something we call cancer. And cancer, the understanding is we need to understand the cells first. So we have blood vessels. We have blood vessels and glands. Blood vessels and glands. The blood vessels that we have an epithelial cells inside and outer side. So inside there is epithelial cells. So the first type of cells that we have learned today is called epithelial cells. I'm going through the cells so that when we start talking about cancer, you will understand what I'm talking about. The topic of the day from today, we are introducing cancer cells. We are introducing cancer cells, and it is important you know about the cells of your body. We know about the cells of your body. We have something called the squamous epithelial cells. Squamous epithelial cells. Lining thin and flat allows diffusion from the alveoli. So squamous epithelial cells, they allow diffusion. Those ones are in the respiratory surface. They can allow oxygen to come in or out. You get? They can allow oxygen to come in and out. Welcome, Jay Kingre. Welcome, Kingre in the house. Welcome. Today we are introducing something called cancer. But the first thing we need to know is what are the cells, because cancer comes from the cells. I'm introducing the cells of your body, the cells that some people need to know. So we have ciliated epithelial cells. These ones, when you hear cilia epithelial I've said is Uncle Arubi. I'm here again, doctor. I want to stay healthy. Very fine, Uncle Arubi. Thanks a lot. As you come, make sure you like and share this person you would love, even you, the person to be healthy. Uncle Arubi, check if you have subscribed, and let's continue to engage and talk to each other. Now, I'm introducing the cells that are in your body. So, columnar epithelial cells. What are columnar epithelial cells? They are tall and elongated, found in the intestines. So, when you hear epithelial cells, it means epi, they are covering a part of your body. So these epithelial cells can secrete or they can protect. So your cells of your skin are epithelial cells. The cells that are found in your stomach are epithelial cells. So we have squamous epithelial cells. Squamous are found in your respiratory tract. We have cuboidal epithelial cells. It is found in the kidneys, cuboidal. Columnar, I can see Jamaican uncle here. Welcome. Sorry, I am late. Oh no, you are not late. You are just starting. We are just starting. So I can see ciliated epithelial cells and glandular epithelial cells. Glandular, they are there for secretion, enzymes, and mucus. These are the types of cells that secrete when you have you are hungry. They secrete some chemicals when you are hungry. When you are having some issues on your chest, the alveolar cells, they secrete, but also they protect. They are found in places that are protected. You get it? They are found in places that are protected. Now, let's continue, my friends. We have muscle cells. Cells of your muscles, muscle cells, contraction to produce movement and generate force. So even your muscles, you know, the topic today is cancer. The topic of the day today is cancer, but we are introducing cells. I want people to know the type of cells first, so that when we talk about different type of cancers, you are connecting with what I'm speaking about. You are connecting with what I'm speaking about. We have muscle cells. Your muscles have cells specialized when it comes to contractions and relaxation. Skeletal muscle cells, voluntary movement attached to bones. Cardiac muscle cells, those ones are in the heart. We have really talked about the heart. So anytime you hear cardiac, you know I'm talking about the heart. Smooth muscle cells, involuntary movement found in the walls and organs of the intestines. Smooth muscle cells. So they are smooth because they can relax and contract. They are found in the intestines, uterus, and blood vessels. Welcome everyone. Welcome Judy Boswan Bosire. He told me it's called Bosire one. Uncle Ruby here, very nice. One of us who is new. Uncle, welcome to the platform. Here we talk about health matters, and everyone who is new. If you are new, always like and subscribe and share and tell someone there is a platform that people talk about health matters and they help each other to be fine health wise. Now there is nerve cells. The other thing is your nerves are cells. Transmission of electric impulse for communication and coordination. Your nerves are cells. Now your body is generally made of cells. And what is a cell? In biology, you remember in biology, for those who did biology, cell is if someone asks you what is a cell, what will you tell this person? The functional unit of life. What is a cell? What will you tell this person? Because it is where everything starts from. A cell is where life starts from, and a cell is where problems start from. A cell is the smallest basic structural and functional unit of a living thing. Functional unit of a living thing meaning it is the structural unit that supports life. Life starts at a cell. I can see Marjay B in the house. Welcome Marjay. Thanks so much being here. We say that when you are here and we see you are healthy and you can type on your phone and interact, we thank God. Yes, share the chat. Let's continue to interact and let's ask ourselves, what do you understand? what do you understand about the term cancer? Cancer, what do you understand by the term cancer? When you are told about cancer, what comes to your mind first? What is that comes to your mind when you hear cancer? You know, what comes to your mind when you hear cancer? But now, because we want to talk about cancer, we have to know cells types of cells. Transmission of electricity impulse from the nerves is done by cells that are called nerve cells. Okay. There are cells even in your brain that are called neuralgia, glial cells. They are called glial cells. That our cells are damaged. Cancer. Oh, okay. Majay says when you hear about cancer, the first thing that comes to your head is our cells are damaged. Well, anyone else who can say it, who can think about it and has a different version, please, as we continue, can say something. When you hear about cancer, what comes to your head? Now, blood cells. Your cells have your blood has cells, and you saw we have the white blood cells, the one that we went through here. We talked about the red blood cells. You remember, white blood cells, they are called the leukocytes. So if you are watching and you are new, don't just watch and pass. Subscribe and ask something, interact. When you hear cancer, our mind think of death sentence, literally. Uncle Ruby says, when you hear about cancer, your mind shifts and says that is death sentence. Is it true? Uncle Ruby, today when you will never think about that again. You will never think about death sentence again. So if you are new, like the chat, subscribe. We are talking about today's talk. We are talking about cancer, but we have started by talking about cells of the body, so that when we continue, you understand what we mean by cancer. You know, you cannot understand something if you don't know the normal. So we need to know the normal so that we understand the abnormal. In medicine, the abnormal is called pathology, but the normal is the normal. So cancer starts from the cell. So here at the chat, if you are checking me and you are new in the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Link up with the people that are in the chat. Interact with them, ask them some questions, and let's grow. And if you have forgot to like. If you forgot to like, don't forget like. Likes gives impression. So, Uncle Ruby, when you hear cancer, you know most people have died because of cancer, but most people are alive and after getting healed from a type of cancer. We have several types of cancers, and that's why today the first thing I'm doing is I'm introducing a topic called the cell, because cancer starts from the cell function. Please like and subscribe. Hello, Dr. Benjamin, just coming from your daughter's house. Oh, okay, nice Smiler in the city. Welcome to the chat. We have started talking about cancer. And the topic of the day today is the cell, because cancer starts from the cell. So we have started by knowing cells that are called epithelial cells, epi, because they are outermost. Epithelial cells are outermost. These are cells that are coming. Greetings to you, Mercy Grace. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. The cells of the body. We have talked about epithelial cells. We have talked about this other one, which is cuboidal cells, squamous epithelial cells, and we have columnar epithelial cells, ciliated epithelial cells, and glandular epithelial cells. Glandular epithelial cells secrete hormones, enzymes, and mucus. epithelial cells, everywhere you hear about epi, yes, everywhere you hear about epi, you just know it is, yes. Imekwama. Nini mbaya? Let me continue with my nini. Mwexamine kuja uniambie. Now, epithelial cells are those cells that are outer of the outermost layer of the body. You get it? Outermost layer of the body. And this outermost layer of the body is called epi. So guys, when you hear about epi, just know you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of epithelial cells. You have squamous epithelial cells, we have cuboidal epithelial cells. Herbs and spice in the house. Welcome, herbs and spice. We are talking about cancer, but cancer is a very funny and specific and funny thing and in the life of a person. When we want to know it, we want to understand about cells first. So we have squamous epithelial cells, cuboidal epithelial cells, columnar epithelial cells, ciliated epithelial cells, and glandular epithelial cells. You get? And glandular epithelial cells. Now, we have the muscle cells. The muscle cells, we have skeletal muscles, cardiac muscles from the heart, smooth muscles from the cells, smooth muscles, and then we have the nerve cells. Even your nerves are cells, imagine. Even the nerves are cells. Blood cells. What are the blood cells? Transport, immunity, and clotting. The work of your blood cells is transport, immunity, and clotting. So, blood cells are divided into 2 types of blood cells, 3 types. The blood cells are divided by 3. We have red blood cells, we have white blood cells, we have platelets. So, red blood cells are in medicine are called erythrocytes. You get? White blood cells are leukocytes, and then platelets are called thrombocytes. Thrombocytes help in blood clotting. Helps in blood clotting. So platelets help in blood clotting. If you have any question concerning cancer, it is time you drop it now, because we have just, I've said, before we start talking about cancer, it is important we talk about we talk about cells, because cancer starts from the cell, and every place that cancer is directed by a cell that was starting to mutate. So we have blood cells that are red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. And then we have something we call connective tissues. Connective tissues are cells. Connective tissues are cells. Support, bind, protect, and transport substance. So fibroblasts, adipocytes, chondroplasts, and osteocytes. Osteocytes, osteoblasts, and osteoclasts. Those are, anytime you hear about osteo, do you have to do radiation after chemo and breast removal? It depends, herbs and spice. It depends with the kind of therapy you are going on, because you know, even cancer has staging. Cancer has staging, and the staging dictates how your treatment will be. So sometimes you don't have according to the staging that you have. And as we continue, as we are picking, today is a week that we have started on cancer, and cancer starts from the cell, and that's why I have given the stage of starting to know what are cells, what are the cells of your body. As we continue, as I find some things to talk about, and don't go away, look at the type of white blood cells on the screen as I come. Let me pick something as I come. Look at the types of white blood cells as I come. Just a minute, I will be here. Yes. And Benjamin is here again. Sorry, when you have some, you are working, you have patience, and you are doing some things, it becomes so like that. And we continue. Now, we were talking about cancer, and Herbs and Spice had a question, and I've answered it. So, we are talking about cells. I'm introducing cells. So, connective tissues support, bind, protect, and transport substances. These are fibroblasts produce collagens and extracellular matrix. Adipocytes. When you hear anything, FRC is here. FRC, welcome. It's a Monday, and we have a new topic. Today we are not talking about hearts. We are talking about, when you talk about hearts, people become emotional. So we are talking about cancer, and we are introducing cells of the body. So anytime you hear about anytime I'm talking, and then you hear about fibroblasts, those blasts, they are blasting, they are producing, they are producing called something, a matrix, fibroblasts, fibrogen. They are produce collagen and extracellular matrix. The matrix that connect, those are fibroblasts. You get? And then we have adipocytes. Anytime you hear about sites, adipocytes, just know you are talking about adipose tissues. You are talking about adipose tissues. You are talking about fats and cholesterol. And if you don't know, you can have cancer of the skin, or the cells of the skin. You check that out. Chondrocytes form cartilage. They form cartilage. The white matter that you have connecting bones, it's called cartilage. They are called chondrocytes. They form cartilage. Osteocytes, osteoblasts, and osteoclasts. Anytime you hear about osteo, just know we are talking about bones, because you can even have cancer of the bones. And you see, these are cells. Osteocytes, osteoblasts, or osteoclasts. So those are osteos. Osteos are bones, cells that come up with the bone. So you can get cancer of the bone by mutating osteoclasts. And then we have macrophages and mast cells participate in immune response. You see, people have got some cancer like the myeloid leukemias. They also are macrophages may be affected. Now, reproductive cells. We have cells that are called reproductive cells. The reproductive cells. What are reproductive cells? Reproductive cells are those cells that you produce when coming up with life, like sperm cells and ovum. Sperm cells and ovum, male gamete, motile and carry paternal genetic material. And female gamete is called ovum. So a woman produces an ovum, a man produces a sperm, the male gamete. So those are types of cells of reproductive system. But we have other type of cells that are called Live, Love TV is here. Welcome. I've seen you. Thanks so much for tuning in as we start our journey of understanding what cancer is. Our journey of understanding what cancer is. Now, stem cells are undifferentiated cells capable of self-neural and differentiation into specialized cells. You know, there are some cells in your bone marrow. There are cells that can differentiate and come to do special things in your body. So those ones are called stem cells. In your bone marrow, there are cells that differentiate and come up with blood. There are cells that differentiate in your bone marrow and come out with white blood cells. So those are called the stem cells. They are the ones which provide the base of something in your body. They provide what you should have. So if you are new to, it's on Monday. Here we talk about health matters, and health matters consist of everything that you see, everything that you hear about, and everything that you listen about. So my guys who is here, who is new, check if you have liked, check if you have subscribed, and ask a question. Interact with people that are in the chat. Interacting is very important. So if you have not liked and subscribed, watch and subscribe, my friend. Don't forget to interact with beautiful people that are in the chat, like Judy, like Smiler in the city, like Jamaican Uncle. I can see Alright Psalms. Wow, my musical sister there. Alright Psalms. Good morning, everyone. Says good morning, good morning. Alright Psalms loves singing and dancing just like me. Big up Alright Psalms wherever you are. God bless you, and God continue giving you the gift of singing like Solomon. Jamaican Uncle is here, and Ephasie is still in the house. Ephasie, the shy girl, the camera shy girl, is in the house. Everyone who is here, Ephasie, my door is open. Of course, check if you have not liked. Big up. Big up Alright Psalms. Alright Psalms is telling me to give a flight. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in, Alright Psalms. So as we talk about cancer, we are talking about cells of the body. Cells of the body. You see, cells of the body are so many. With the stem cells, important, the stem cells are cells of the body that are very important. Stem cells. You know what? Because they are the ones which comes up with everything. They are the ones which produces the cells that you have and the tissues that you have. So when they are produced, they differentiate. There is a process that we call the differentiation process. This process comes out with other cells in your body that are like red blood cells, that are like white blood cells, that are like the macrophages, the natural killer cells that kill pathogens in your body. So that is what we talk about then, the cells of the body. Your body has so many cells. You see, we are still continuing. So the stem cells, like the ones in the bone marrows, because your bone marrow, I know one of us or two have ever heard someone saying he was diagnosed or she was diagnosed with the stem cell cancer. When you hear about stem cell cancer, just connect and know it is cells from the bone marrow. Differentiation mostly happens in the bone marrow. I can see people are coming in. If you have not subscribed and you like and subscribe. So there are several cells that are stem cells, like embryonic stem cells. Can develop in any type of cell, embryonic stem cell. These are cells in your bone marrow, can develop in any type of cell. Any cell type. You need some cells, and it is called embryonic. Embryonic wakes up and says, now the white blood cells are less. That one can develop into a white blood cell immediately, because you need white blood cells. Now when you have low red blood cells and you have ulcers, the embryonic cells, they say, now we need red blood cells. They can develop into red blood cells immediately. So they are there to give whatever that is less. Embryonic stem cells. Embryonic stem cell. We have adult stem cells found in tissues such as bone marrow, aid in repair and regeneration. Adult stem cells, they always aid in repairing what is destroyed. So those are the cells. You see, now if you interfere with your bone marrow, when you have an accident and you interfere with your bone marrow, and the bone marrow is found along the long bones. Bone marrow is found along the long bones, like your femur. The femur is your thigh bone. your foot, your tibia and fibula, the one that is below the thigh bone, those two bones, they are called adult stem cells. They found in tissues and bone marrow. You see, very important. Induced pluripotent stem cells. When induced pluripotent stem cells, reprogrammed cells used in research, and these ones are used to research and therapy. So when you have a problem, they are reprogrammed and then you are given so that they can help boost what is not there. So guys, as this information is priceless. Wow, thank you for breaking it down. Thank you. All right, Sams. And if you have any question that is surrounding medical field or medical program or anything that you feel you can ask, don't limit yourself to cancer because you are dealing with cancer. No, bring that question that you have. Let's see how we can help it out. So anyone who is here and is having any question, let's not limit ourselves to only cancer because it's a week of cancer. No, let's ask several questions. Let's have all those questions that are needed. Let's ask them, all of them, so that we can know how to. Is it true that we can eat the bone marrow from our meat to build our bone marrow? From our meat, how is bone marrow created? Yeah? How is bone marrow created? You know, Uncle is asking, is it true that we can eat bone marrow to increase bone marrow? Because bone marrow is the functional thing of life. What do you think, guys? You know, when you are eating something like, let's say, bone marrow is a protein. So when you are taking bone marrow, the first thing, it goes to your stomach and then it's broken down to amino acid. Dorothy, add paracetamol. Paracetamol 1 gram BD for 3 days. And paracetamol alone. Yes. Okay, let's continue now. You see, when you eat any protein, it goes down to your stomach and it's broken down into amino acids. So when you have broken down it to amino acid, is it going direct to give you the bone marrow? I don't think so. It is performing other things. So what you should do when you want to boost your bone marrow, this is responding to a question that has come, like, is it true that we can eat the bone marrow from our meat to build our bone marrow? That is the question that has been asked. You see, here are things that can help you build your bone marrow, which is very important. Iron-rich foods. Iron-rich foods, and then there is vitamin B12 intake, and then we have something we call folic acid and vitamin D. Remember, you should take enough calcium and proteins. You should take enough calcium and proteins, and always adopt healthy lifestyle like avoiding substance and exercising regularly. Stay hydrated and get adequate sleep. Always treat underlying deficiencies like iron deficiency, aplastic anemia, and leukemia, because you know leukemia comes from the bone marrow. So you should check which type of leukemia you have and treat it. The foods that you should eat to boost iron mostly are red meat and liver, spinach. Eat spinach. Uncle Ruby has said, yes, I was just saying spinach, and Uncle Ruby has said spinach and kales. Kales is skumawiki in our language. Beans, lentils, and chickpeas. Pumpkin seeds and nuts. Fortified cereals. They boost iron so much in your body. They boost iron. Vitamin B12 is important for DNA synthesis and red blood cell formation. B12. They boost DNA, and you know your bone marrow is differentiating DNA, so you need it. Eggs, fish, milk, yogurt, cheese, and fortified cereals. And then we have folic acid, which is vitamin B9. That one never lose vitamin B9, because in the creation of the cells of your body, maybe in the bone marrow or outside, we have the stage called differentiation, cell division, and the formation of healthy blood cells, cell division. So you need leafy greenlets, avocados, bananas, you get it, beans and peas and fortified grains. For vitamin D, supports healthy bones, aid bone marrow. You expose yourself to sunlight. If you are in the countries that sunlight is a problem, fatty fish as salmon and sardines, fortified milk and cereals, eggs, egg yolks, calcium, very important, from sardines, broccoli, and milk and dairy products. You get it, very important. So Uncle, that question, I think I've answered it correctly. Meat can give you, but it doesn't mean when you take directly it's giving you bone marrow. That keep your bones strong too. Very, yes. If you don't have issues with your thyroid, the parathyroid, the one that is behind, which is called the parathyroid, and you take proteins and some milk, you see, and you take calcium, it will give you some strong bones, like broccolis, milk and dairy products and sardines. It will give you more strong bones. You get? The only thing that I want to advise people, when you have stomach issues and acidity issues, always help yourself by staying away from antacids that are called proton pump inhibitors. Hello, doctor. Thanks, Dorothy K. Welcome to the platform. We are just introducing the topic cancer, and we are talking about cells of your body. Always stay away from proton pump inhibitors, antacids, because if you take more antacids somewhere in life, your bones will start to be brittle. They weaken your bones. The best thing to do when you have issues with abdominal issues and acidic issues is to avoid things that will give you acidity. You get? And eat less foods over time. But if you are a person that likes eating a lot and you love, when you have eaten, you want to take drugs, my friend, you will continue taking antacids, and one time in life, you will start having problems with your bone density and you will have weakness. That is when you go and get some people that are above 55. Someone just slept well and coming out of the bed is a problem because he has fracture of the thigh bone. They just fracture. There is a very common fracture called intertrochanteric fracture that most old age people get. You get? So we don't want to have it. We continue. We are talking about the cells of the body. Now, we have talked about induced pluripotent stem cell, which people they are reprogrammed to help a person who is sick. So in details of this, why am I introducing cells before we start the topic cancer? Because cells is the beginning of cancer. If someone asks you what is cancer, what can you tell this person? That is a question that I've really asked every time. What do you understand by the term cancer? What is cancer? What is cancer? If you have ever Googled or discussed or talked to someone about cancer, you will hear about cancer with cells. Cancer is a disease which abnormal cells grow uncontrollably. You see, a cell grows uncontrollably. invade surrounding tissues and may spread to other parts of the body. It occurs when normal cell growth and division process are disrupted due to genetic mutation. Yeah? So cell division is a process whereby the cell produces another cell. So I've said, if someone asks you about cancer, the first thing, I've gone through several types of cells. The first thing you need to understand is a disease which abnormal cells grow uncontrollably. Abnormal, not normal cells. Because now if we go to the body cells, you understand, I've said we started by something called epithelial cells. Let's repeat and go slowly by slowly, so that we understand. Epithelial cells, does cancer cells feed off the blood? Or cancer cells don't feed the blood. They are cells. What they do, they use a lot of energy from your body. The sugars that you are supposed to use, they use a lot of energy that are in your body. You get? There are a lot of energy. The glucose that you have, some components that you have in your body, they use a lot of energy, and it depends with the type of cancer where the cancer has started. If it is blood cancer, you understand it will have a lot of issues when it comes to taking and producing the cancer. So I've said we start with cells because cancer starts from a cell. And your body is made of cells. And you see, I'm going through types of cells. And I've said your body is composed of trillions of cells which are highly specialized. Each cell type is unique, structurally formed, and its unique nature makes it do things specially, very special with your body. So if it is your epithelial cell, and it is your skin cell, it will do a special job concerning the skin structure. You see, if it is the alveolar cell of your body, it will do a special work concerning how it is supposed to work. So people, I can see people are coming in, new people, please interact with people in the chat and we talk. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe. And also ask what is going on, because it is nice and good. Hi doc, that is Junk J Hank 47 in the house. Welcome J Hank 47. We are starting to understand what cancer is, because cancer starts from a cell, and where it has started from, it is why it is called that name, cancer of the stomach, gastric cancer. So you will find, if a cell of the stomach has a problem, you will see it is called gastric cancer. If the cells of your heart have a problem, they are mutating, it will be called cardiac cancer. Now, we have said cancer comes when a stage of cell differentiation or cell division. Listen here. The human body is composed of trillions of bodies. Each cell type is uniquely structured to perform specific function, especially in survival, growth, and maintenance. Especially estimate the body contains 200 distinct cell types. Scientists estimate that the body contains 200 distinct cell types. Imagine, 200, and both of them can start a cancer. So when it is time of differentiation and cell division, cell division, let me see here. Cell division, how does your cell produce? Cell division, by your cell divides. They don't do the normal process like human beings. So your cell divides and exchanges genetic material. Like if you have 46 chromosomes, there it comes, it divides. Like this is one cell, So it comes and shares every material. If this side it has a nucleoside, it divides the nucleoside, it shares with this one. If this side it has a chromosome, they share, they come to this side. So if it is like this, it comes, it separates with half of the number of this side and this side, and it comes two cells. That is cell division. Is the genetic material in accurate copied? Cell division, we call it cell division. This is a very important place of cancer starting. Cell division ensures genetic material is accurately copied and distributed to new cells. It allows organisms to grow, replace, and damage cells and maintain normal body function. So cell division is very important. So can I say that it is a stranger which steals anything that eats inside my body? That is a very good suggestion that from Dorothy K. Cancer is a stranger that steals everything and eats inside my body. Yes, cancer cells are strangers. But you see, when the cell is dividing, it is supposed to divide and come up with a cell that is like the cell that divided. You hear? But now we have a stage of division of a cell that comes out with another stage that is producing a cell that is not like the one that produced. So we have gone through all the cells. I'm introducing cancer, and that's why I'm going through these random talks. You see, the importance of cell division in a human body, all those cells that you've seen have gone through, epithelial cells, every osteoclast. Let me repeat them so that everyone who is coming new can understand. We talked about the outer cover cells, which are the epithelial cells, that are their function. Okwemba is in the house. Okwemba, welcome. We are talking about cancer, but I'm introducing a very important topic which is called cancer. So Okwemba, if you have a question, put it through. Let's talk about it. Let's hear about it. Function of the epithelial cell is to protect, absorb, filtration, diffusion, and sensory, and to sense, like the skin. Protection, the skin protects. Secretion, inside your stomach, I've said epithelial, epi means outer. So inside your stomach, there is the outer covering that secretes and absorbs. You get it? And these ones are several cells that are called stratified squamous, simple squamous, cuboidal squamous, and pseudostratified. All these cells can get cancer. So according to the cancer of what is the cell I'm naming, it will be named after it. You see, connective tissues. We have cells that are connective tissues. If you have a question, don't fail to ask. We want to understand cells so that we know, because cancer starts from cellular level. So when you understand the cellular level, we can understand the major level. So here we have connective tissues. The connective tissues are fibroblasts for collagens. You have collagen. Sometimes ladies say, I'm taking my collagen so that my muscles, my connective tissues can be strong. Fibrocytes. Fibrocytes, main connective tissues. Adipocytes, then cholesterol. Macrophages, mast cells, plasma cells, mesenchymal cells, all these are connective tissues. They make things to connect and interact toughly. And then we have supportive connective tissues. Supportive connective tissue. Hi, this is Margaret. Today we are introducing something called cancer. And it's important we understand cells. So I'm just introducing cells. Margaret in Norway, my sister, welcome so much to the platform. Welcome with broad hands and interact with the people. Dorothy K. Hi Maggie, Dorothy is here. Dorothy is a nice lady, always supporting. Now, we have talked about several issues that okay. Now that we are talking about, like the supportive connective tissues, cartilage, bone cells, and we have other cells. So the bone cells, cells of your bone are like osteoblasts, osteocytes, osteoclasts. Osteoblasts, they build bones. Osteocytes, they maintain bone. Osteoclasts, bone resorption. You see, reabsorb. When you have an injury in your bone, these are the ones that create the bone. So you can also get cancer from this. You can also get cancer from these bones, these cells of the bone. But we have fluid connective tissues. How are you ankle? Now, fluid connective tissues. You know, blood is a tissue. Blood is a tissue. Red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, all of them are tissues. You get? So these tissues can get. Have you ever had someone has cancer of the blood? Because maybe one of the cells of the blood has a problem, or the bone marrow itself has a problem. So let's talk about the differentiation stage, the place where cancer starts from. I've gone through all white blood cells, several cells, neuralgia cells, those are astrocytes, oligocytes, microganglia, those are cells of the brain, the central nervous system. So cancer starts from the division part, where the cell is starting to divide. There is a process that the cell wants to form another cell. The mitosis, if you have ever had something called mitosis and meiosis, production of other cells. So mitosis happens to body cells, but meiosis happens to the cells of reproduction. Mitosis. The mitosis is a stage whereby two identical daughter cells are formed and is responsible for growth and repair of somatic cells. So this is a place where now cancer starts from. These two stages. If you are not understanding, my friends, I'm here to explain. I'm here to explain. We have talked about cells of the body, how they are. Now I'm saying, listen to this, my friends. Listen to this clearly. And when the cell is dividing, this is where the problem comes. The two stages. You know, the cells of reproduction, the ovum and the sperm cell. You know, your sperm is a cell. They undergo something called meiosis. They produce 4 identical daughters. But mitosis, now we are talking about the cell of your body. We are talking about the cell. Mitosis is a process that occurs of your body, production of all those cells that I've named, but they are not cells of the sperm or the ovum. They produce how many bones? How many cells? 2. So in mitosis, if you want to learn about how they are produced and how the session goes, if you have a question, my friend, please ask the question. Please ask the question. There is something called the prophase. This is for mitosis. There is something called the metaphase, and then anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis. The cytoplasm divides. I have to draw this so that people can understand. You know, when we draw these pictures, people understand more and you appreciate. Now, I've said the problem comes when it comes to production of new cells. That is the first thing. All those cells that we have named, let me get a paper here so that we can draw and understand what is going on, what is cancer and what is going on. You know, introduction, when you are knowing the normal, when you know the normal, it is important when you know the normal, so that this was for, you remember QRS, that was for the heart. I think the heart matters. We will place them aside a bit. We know how the cells of your body are dividing. Look at this, what I want to draw. Now, this is your cell. We put this here so that everyone can see me and listen to me correctly like this. Now, this is your cell, one cell, and this cell has some chromatids here, so many chromatids, the DNA and the chromatids. So when you want to divide this cell wants to give out to another cell. That is, it comes, the first stage is called prophase, the prophase stage. This is the prophase. What does the prophase stage do? When a cell wants to it starts to align itself to one side. So they have started forming, they want to divide. When they have started forming, there is another stage called the metaphase, whereby there is central lines that form in the cell like this. You get? And these lines, these that are the metaphase, these chromatids that are dividing, they come and form here. You get to them? This is metaphase. After metaphase, after they have aligned themselves on this line here, now they move out. They move out and they form something called, you see, these lines are here and here. So they were at one line. So the chromatids, the DNAs, are moving away from the line here. They come the other side. And then after they have moved from the other side, what do they do after they move? Now, it divides itself here. It forms two daughter cells. This is called the telophase. Now, that is how a cell divides. On a quick note, it is a stage that we have to learn slowly, but on a quick note, that is how the cell divides. It has prophase, metaphase stage, and so between these stages, you can find a stage whereby the DNA crossing over. You know, we have the chromatids that hold your DNA in your nucleus. Let me get another paper. In your nucleus, we have the chromatids, like, let me draw them. These little things have drawn inside the cell. They are called chromatins. And so it means your DNA has proteins, and proteins are aligned inside the nucleus. Some things called guanine, alanine. There is something called DNA and RNA. So DNA alignment, DNA. Listen, I'm going slowly so that people can understand what cancer is. You see, there is something called guanine. Sorry. Let me check this out. Today network has no issue, I think. Okay. Today network has no issue. So we have some proteins, the 20 proteins that your DNA has. Your DNA has a protein called cytosine. You see, guanine and alanine. Alanine, thiamine, cytosine, and guanine. Alanine, thiamine, cytosine, and guanine. Now, there is something else that is called uracil, but that one we'll see it on RNA, ribonucleic acid, not the DNA. So, if I wish I had an extra tomorrow, this vision about this practical vision. Now, listen, I've said these small things that I've drawn in the cell, they are the ones that hold the DNA. One strand looks like this. One strand looks like this. So the proteins that make up your DNA, are alanine. The other one is called thiazine. The other one is called thiazine. The other one is cytosine, guanine, and uracil. But this one, we will see it when it comes to ribonucleic acid. Now, this is where the problem comes, my friend. In your family, you have a problem of, let's say, sorry. In your family, you have a problem of something called alanine. You get? This is why I'm talking about cells. And I want you to understand so clearly. So when we start to talk about how cancer comes, you are understanding and knowing what cancer is. Put this one here. Can come clearly. That. So this is it. In your genetic makeup, you are always having a problem with something called alanine in the DNA strand of your cell. In the DNA strand of your cell. You see, these are DNAs that are in this cell. And in the differentiation, now this cell is starting to produce two cells. But in your family, or you have been taking so many things that are giving you something that is called free radicals. And now they have interfered with one of these. These are protein. A DNA is supposed to be let me check this out. Wait a minute. Now let's continue. This is it. You have a problem with alanine. I'm just explaining how cancer comes. Now this is the normal DNA in this chromatin, inside this. So if we come and form another chromatin here, it will be like this one. Alanine, thiamine, cytosine, guanine, and let's say we will not put this one because this one is another thing. So we come and form another thiamine, that one, cytosine and thiamine. So this is a normal cell. This one is reflecting this chromatin that is here. Two. You see there are two, this side and this side. So I've drawn this thing that is inside here. But you have a problem when it comes to alanine. You have been exposed to some things that have removed this alanine here, and they have taken uracil and replaced it here. If this cell that I'm talking about, this cell that is differentiating is epithelial cell, when it comes out, it will not be the epithelial cell. You get? Why? Because the normal sequence of the DNA has been changed. Okay? Very important. That is a very important thing. That's why you are seeing we introduced and said, can I repeat about that, people? Can I repeat about that? Because that is the where cancer starts from. That is if you have not understood that part, please, I can repeat 10 times. Anyone who has understood or anyone who has not understood that part, if you have not understood, please ask me to repeat that part. It is very important. Let me repeat. Can I repeat? Let me repeat. Today I'm very slow. Let me repeat about the binding. Good morning, Benjamin and everyone. Welcome. I've said, let me repeat again, because this is where now cancer starts from. And I've said, every cell, hello Benjamin, welcome, it's Chwea. We are talking about cancer, and we have gone through cells of the body, and every cell of the body can undergo cancer. I have drawn here a picture. This is how a picture of a normal cell can divide. This is where, and you see the little chromatins. These ones are called chromatins. This one is called chromatins. Get a good pen. These ones are called chromatins. Those ones are called chromatins. So listen carefully about how cancer starts. You have something called chromatins in the nucleus. A cell has something called the nucleus, where the DNA is. A cell has something called the nucleus, where the DNA is. You see, this is a cell. So you have the nucleus, you have the cytoplasm, you have something called the mitochondria, you have mitochondria inside. So inside the nucleus, inside this small thing here, the nucleus, there are some things called chromatins. After chromatins, we call them alleles. When they form something like this, we call them alleles. So these ones are the chromatins. Now I'm talking about the cell division. Now those chromatins have a sequence. These strings that you see that are aligned like this, they hold protein sequence. And these strings, as they hold protein sequence, I've drawn them like this. Let me draw them like this. If you are not getting it, please ask. So we have said we have more than 20 proteins, but there are specific ones that hold the DNA, the guanine, the alanine. I'm checking on something here, just a minute. So we have the guanine. I'm trying to explain very slowly, so don't go away, just be patient. Guanine binds to cytosine. Thiamine to, wait a minute. Adenine. Yes, I've made it. Now look at this. In simple terms, see, I'm saying this. This is the allele. You see, there is in the cytosine, in the cytoplasm of, I've said this is your cell. And your cell has something called the cytoplasm inside. Now the cytoplasm is this small thing here inside that contains your DNA. Now the cytoplasm has small X things, these ones that are called the chromatins. The chromatins, one link like this one has this protein sequence that are bound, that create that cell that you have. That thing, that X thing is continuation. So you have several. So the X thing that you see it is like this. So this side has the protein. So the proteins are guanine, thiamine, adenine, and cytosine. So the thiamine binds with adenine, guanine binds with uracil, and adenine binds with cyanide, just like that. So if it is a normal cell, let's pick a cell like the epithelial cell, like the skin. All the cells of the skin, when this cell is multiplying to be 2 cells, it will form this. The DNA will be like this. You get it? Let me draw another bigger allele so that you can see. So your DNA will be like this inside the cell. So it is supposed, when you are producing another cell, the sequence to be like this, just like the mother cell. But a problem comes in. Maybe in your genetic factor, you have a problem of guanine replacement. So when you start exposing yourself to factors that can make you have a cancer, like radiations in factories, sedentary lifestyle, you have a big body, cholesterols are high, smoking, your cells starts to replace guanine. So when it comes to differentiation stage, this stage that I've named here, guanine, you had normal cells, but now guanine has been replaced. You are starting to produce something else that is not this sequence in the cytoplasm. What happens? It will not come out as this cell of the skin. It will start to have maybe a skin that has a wound that is open, or is not this color, depending with which part of the protein produces the color or makes the collagen tough. And it's not only in the skin, because each type of cell has got its sequence. And that's why when you go and take those drugs, what they do, they only replace this protein. It's a monoclonal antibody that replaces this protein in the cytoplasm of the cell, so that when the cell is dividing, it is coming out with the normal sequence that is supposed to come out with. You get? Now you understand why I am introducing this topic by a topic called the cell. Your cell has several components, and those components, they hold specific things that they do. So has everyone understood that stage? In your cell you have the nucleus, and in your nucleus you have chromatids, and those chromatids are made up of strands that make your DNA. These strands that make up the DNA. This one. So this is a complete allele because it contains the proteins of the DNA. Without these proteins, you will not be having DNA. You get? So if you have understood, please say yes, I've understood. Or if you have not understood, let me repeat. So your cell, all those cells of your body, what they contain? They contain cell membrane. This is the outer cover of the cell. They are so small, minute, that you cannot see. Even the DNA is so small. These proteins that I'm naming, you cannot see them with your eye unless you go to an electronic microscope in the laboratory. So this is the normal sequence of, I'm giving an example of, let's say, a blood cell, or let's say an epithelial cell. And I've said, this is my cell. This is my cell, and it has got a nucleus inside. It has got its cell membrane that is round, that you see. This is the cell membrane. The red things that you are seeing inside, here are these alleles, the chromatids, the ones that I've drawn here when it comes to separation, the stages of. So the cell membrane, it has the cytoplasm. Inside here of the cell, we have the cytoplasm. The jelly-like fluid in the cell, it's jelly, contains organelles inside, mostly water, salts, and proteins. Nucleus. Now, nucleus is what I've named. This one with the red type thing inside contains DNA, genetic material. As a mother, whatever that is inside here is what you pass to your generation. You get it? As a father, whatever that is inside here in your sperm cell is what you pass to your generation. That is what determines that child, how he or she looks like you, or characters are like you. So the function of this nucleus controls cell division to come up with other cells, regulates growth and division, and stores genetic material, the DNA, the red thing that I've drawn there. So we have other things like mitochondria, which gives the cell energy. Those ones are here, I've drawn here outside. Ribosome, site of protein synthesis. You see? Rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplastic reticulum. But our study today is inside here, the nucleus, where the DNA is. That is where our study is. And we have said, cancer comes when this cell wants to differentiate and produce another cell. So if this cell, these ones are the alleles and the chromatids. So this one thing that I've drawn here, it's called the allele because it is crossing, it has 4 DNA chromosomes. This one, and this one. But I've just given an example of one strand. So this one strand, if guanine, uracil, thymine, and adenosine are the proteins that make a DNA. The other side, it is supposed to bind with the same that is supposed to bind to. So binds to cytosine. Alanine binds to thiamine. You see, they are binding to which specific that they are binding to. When it comes to division, and then one of these has been removed now because of free radicals that always you eat, you are exposed to. When this cell is dividing, it will not come up with this cell. It will come up with something that is not performing the function of this cell. And we have given examples of cells of your body. The cells of your body, we have the epithelial cells. When they are dividing according to how the strand is. So that strand of guanine, adenine, thiamine is what determines what the cell can do. You see, this strand in the nucleus, this strand, the guanine, adenine, thiamine, and cytoplasm, how it is, how they interchange is what determines, is it a skin cell? Is it the cell of your mouth inside? Is it the cell of your gastric, the epithelial cell? Is it a blood cell when it is being produced in your body? And then you have heard there is something called the embryonic stem cells. When they are coming out, that is their work. You get it? So that is how cancer starts. We know now, and now Dorothy K has said it is a stranger that comes to eat out my body. Now, when I ask up to there, is cancer a stranger? Because it is your body and your cells which produces the cells that eat up your body. Is cancer a stranger? What will you tell someone? Tell me. Because now there are some factors that now today it was an introduction. I've given you the differentiation stage. I've given you the cells of your body, and now I want to give factors that can lead to a person to get any type of cancer. Any question from there? Any question? If you have a question, it's time for you to ask. Because if you don't know the factors, you will not know the pathophysiology. Nicholas Jani Extras. Welcome, Nicholas Janis. Welcome. We are talking introductory. We are introducing cancer. If you have a question, let's put them. So, Dorothy K, listen to this. Cancer develops when the cell growth becomes uncontrollably due to genetic damage. And you've seen the genetic damage is where? The genetic damage is in the cytoplasm of the nucleus. So that is where cancer starts from. These alleles, the sequence of protein formation here, the sequence of protein formation, that is where cancer starts from. So this is how I can say cancer develops when normal cell growth becomes uncontrollably due to genetic damage. Many different factors can increase risk of getting the cancer, usually act together at one single cause. You see, so genetic factors is important. Some people inherited gene mutation that increase cancer risk. And what is gene mutation? When we talk about gene mutation, when we talk about gene, this is your gene now. If your sequence is cytosine, thiamine, adenine, cytosine, guanine, and then this side the same, this other side the same, this side the same. The whole of this round thing is your gene. This is what you pass to your children, that is inside the cytoplasm. This is your gene. The sequence of the proteins that come out and they form your cheeks, they form your eyes that are shaggy, they form your body that is built, they form your beautiful face. The people say that that lady bears beautiful ladies. It depends with the sequences of this. This is the gene. You get? This is the gene. So some people genetically can be born. Family history of cancer. Why? Onik is in the house. Onik, welcome to the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. Like button always, and let's interact. Onik, I like Onik because he always likes and asks questions openly. Onik, you can ask. Today we are talking about cancer, Onik. So this is your genetic material that is inside the cytoplasm. I'm here. Good morning, Ridley. Welcome to the chat, Ridley. Yesterday you had a problem loading into the brick by brick, but it's okay. Today you can interact. Please don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. So when you hear a gene, just know this is the genetic material that is inside the cytoplasm. So, family history of cancer, inherited gene mutation, BRC gene for breast cancer, those are normal. Chromosome abnormalities, this is the chromosome. So, you can find that some people are born with some problems like this one. The adenine and thymine and guanine, they mutate. Sometimes this guanine, instead of being guanine, it eliminates itself and comes from adenine. Adenine is not supposed to bind with cytosine. You get adenine has come to cytosine. So when you are producing another cell, it starts producing a person who has maybe breast cancer, because maybe the classification of adenine is supposed to be adenine thymine, not adenine cytosine. People with adenine cytosine, maybe they come out with breast cancers. Benjamin, can you make me a moderator of your channel? Of course, Onyx. And my channel is always disciplined. Onyx, if you want to be a moderator, that is it. So as much as you are holding on discipline and being a cool guy to the channel, that is it. Onyx, give it. That's it. So this is how we have understood about genetic material, a gene. When someone has good shaped body, a lady has a good shaped body, and then you walk as a man and you say, oh, those are genes, genetic materials. Look at the cytoplasm inside. Look at the cytoplasm inside, where the genetic material, these alleles, the ones that they divide at this process, what are the sequences of the proteins, the guanine, alanine, thymine, all those, how do they align? That is what is giving this lady the good shape that you want to see. The brown skin, the dark skin, the chocolate, you get it, the chocolate skin, the muscles that this man has. The flabby face that you always talk about, it is inside here, and these ones are the ones which dictates. You get? So when it comes to genetic factors, you have seen one of the protein when it is displaced, and then wrongly the one that is supposed not to be there comes. That is now when cancer starts. There are some things that comes out with some problems, and things like lifestyle, things like lifestyle factors, smoking, tobacco use. Now, when you are smoking tobacco, when you are smoking tobacco, you know, it is passing through your lungs. And maybe in your family you have a problem of lung cancer. The gene that produces lung cancer is weak. That cigarette that you are taking can interfere with the gene sequence in the cell. So you will start producing a gene that is producing cells that are not supposed to be in your airway. Maybe they are bleeding every time. Poor diet, foods and red meat. Today people are so silent. They are listening keenly. People are listening keenly, listening to cancer, how cancer has started. If you have anything you can ask, my friends, please don't hesitate to ask. We are here to learn, and we are learning every day and every day. So today we have learned about the sequence of cancer creation. It starts from the cell, mostly when the cell wants to divide. Poor diet, high processed foods and red meat, low fruits and vegetables, high fats and low fiber diet. You get alcohol. Excess alcohol damages cells and DNA. So that is Ida Jack 1573. Ida Jack, welcome. We are talking about pathophysiology, how cancer starts. So if you can check out from the beginning when you have time, but let's flow with the vibe by the Jack. Let's flow with the vibe. Just hit the like button if you have not hit. You know, when you hit the like button, some more people come in. So alcohol is part of it. It damages the DNA and damages the cells. So when the DNA is being damaged, you see, when your DNA, your alleles are being damaged, this sequence changes. So you start producing cells that are not the normal cells that are supposed to perform the normal job that you need to have. I can see people are really listening so much. Likes are coming, and people are appreciating, and I'm really thankful for you listening, because when you really understand how a problem comes, that is when you can avoid problems to pile. You get? That is when you can avoid problems to come. Now, that is the sequence that, you see, alcohol damages the DNA. Alcohol, when you drink, it is going to be metabolized and to breaken down in the liver. You've been asking how people that take alcohol get liver cirrhosis. Now, when it gets there and the liver is changing that alcohol into water soluble, and the cells are doing so much work. Now you know the cytoplasm of the cytoplasm of the cell, my cytoplasm of the cell is being destroyed, and those active cells are changing the sequence of the proteins. And when they are changing the sequence of the protein, the cells that are produced next, they will not be like the liver cells. They will be something else. They will be something else that is not the liver cells. What will be they? They will be cancer cells. And that's why you get, instead of getting good cells of the liver, they are called hepatocytes, you start getting fatty cells. Fatty cells that have mutated to something else. Yes? Today so silent. Anyone with a question before I continue with things that can give you cancer? Anyone with a question? Anyone? I think people are appreciating now, and you know now, and you understand now that the condition that someone has as cancer is named after the cancer the cell that is affected. We will see about cancers as we continue. We will see about cancers, but now I want you to understand that the cancer that you get is named after the cell that is affected, because now you see here, whatever that is here is a cell that is mutated or destroyed after it is going to the next level to divide. You see? Nice. We're going so slowly and understanding. Anyone who has not understood any stage here, please. Anyone who has not understood any stage. Onyx, thank you for welcoming everyone. Smile in the city, I see you continuing here. Margaret in Norway, my sister, and very thankful of you to be in my channel. I pray that you grow and grow and grow your channel. I want you to see you high up, high up. I can see several Jamaican uncle there. I can see Dorothy K there. I can see King Ray in the house. Judy, always here. It's Chua. Thank you so much for being here. Marcia Thompson, we delivered the well-delivered Dr. Ben. Thank you so much. Well, MaJB. Now you understand where you understand where cancer starts from. And I've said, listen, things that can bring cancer, genetic factors. You understand now how genetic factors can bring cancer, and lifestyle factors, tobacco use, poor diet, alcohol, physical activities. Then we have obesity and hormones. Hormones can interfere with the gene sequence. That gene that we have seen, that gene that we have seen. Environmental and radiation. A radiation can interfere with the cells of your skin or your body. You remember when there was a bomb of Nagasaki and Hiroshima in Japan? So many children were born with some complications. Why? Because the pregnant women that were there that time, they inhaled the radiation. And when they inhaled the radiation, it went and got to the proteins of the body and interfered with the sequences inside the cytoplasm. So if thiamine was there, it was replaced by something else. So the babies that were born with genes that don't dictate what they should come out with. Genes that are abnormal, that you are born with one hand, because maybe guanine is the one which dictates what is coming out as guanine. Like, let's say thiamine is what dictates the leg, and then the guanine has been replaced with the radiation, removed, so you come out without a leg, or you come out with a heart that has tetralogy of Fallot. You get? So environmental and radiation exposure is very important. You get? It's very important. UV rays from the sun. If you are a person who comes from a family with skin cancer, if you are coming from a family with skin cancer genetically, you should not be exposing yourself always in UV rays, because it will displace one factor in the cytoplasm of your skin cells, and you will start having cancer of the, you get. So chemicals can do that, like asbestos, benzene, industrial pollutants, and insecticides and pesticides. Those pesticides that we use in our farm. Have you ever gone to large-scale farms? Large-scale farms like the ones that plant wheat, they plant, large-scale farms like corn farm, and then people use their pesticides. and then you have a weaker factor and you are prone to genetic problems. So when you are exposed, what happens? It displaces so fast that gene that is supposed to make you someone, and you start having problems. So this is how cancer comes in a layman language: displacement of proteins of the genes, leading to an allele. An allele is this thing here, the allele that is not performing the same. This is the allele that is not performing what it should be performing, and it's producing something that is not as a person. Infections can give you cancer. Infections can give you cancer like HPV, which gives cervical cancer. When you are open to diseases, promiscuity, not taking care of yourself, your sanitation is poor, and you are a woman and you are a man always carries the HPV and gives it to a woman. Then it continues to destroy the cervix, and the HPV, human papilloma virus, displaces the genetic material around the cervix, the cells around the cervix. It displaces the cells around the cervix, and then you start having cervical cancer. Hepatitis B and C, liver cancer from, it's a virus. Virus can cause you to displace the genetic material and come out with cancer cells. H. pylori, for those who always complain about the stomach. H. pylori is a bacteria, but prolonged infection of H. pylori, what can it do? It can displace the stomach sequence of the cells inside the cytoplasm until you start having cancerous cells. HIV, increased risk of lymphomas. What are lymphomas? Because we will also see about lymphomas as cancer. I said when we have something like we have the arteries which takes around oxygenated blood, we have the veins which takes deoxygenated blood, but we have another circulation which is called the lymphoid circulation. The tonsils, you see, this is called the lymphatic system. It takes and drains the fluids and takes it back to the circulation of the veins. You can still have cancer of the lymphoid tissues. You see, so age and biological factors, risk increase with age. The more you grow old, the more you are susceptible. Susceptible means you are prone for your cytoplasm to get damaged. So the more you grow old, the more you should be careful with what you are doing, what you are exposed to, and what you are eating. See that? Immune system weakness, HIV/AIDS, immunosuppressive drugs after organ transplant. There are some drugs that when you take after organ transplant, like steroids, prednisolone, those ones can draw your immunity down, so your cells will not be strong to fight for themselves. They have the reduced ability to destroy abnormal cells, like the NK cells, natural killer cells. You see, they get the reduction. We have hormonal factors: long-term exposure to oxygen, estrogen, breast and uterine cancers. We will see when we come to uterine and breast cancers. Hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy. Some people are given estrogen as replacement therapy. And then occupational exposure, where you work, like miners, factory workers, construction workers. Sometimes they are exposed to some radiations that make them get cancers. Random DNA mutation. Sometimes cancers can occur without clear circumstances. You just wake up and then you find some cancers have started. You get? It is important to take note of it. I have some minutes. I have 10 minutes to go. So anyone with a question, any new person that is in the profile today, you can interact with people that are in the chat. You can interact. And if you have not liked, my friend, what are you waiting for? If you are not liked. So I wait for some questions before I finish. As I wait for some questions before I finish, I think now you are appreciating how cancer starts. I started with all types of cells in the body, and after all types of cells, I said in the cell, body cells, there is something called the nucleus, which holds the DNA. So the DNA has something called the alleles, the X strands that are the chromatin. So one chromatin has the proteins like this one. So this one chromatin is what is carrying your gene, who you are, who you will pass to your children. So that is where the problem comes from. The cancer starts from there. So according to how those strands are created is how the cell comes out to produce what? Its function. And then I've finished with things that can cause cancer. Cancer can be caused by genetic factors. It can be caused by lifestyle factors. It can be caused by obesity and hormones. It can be caused by environmental and radiation exposure. It can be caused by infections. You have seen the HPV, human papilloma virus. It can be caused by age and biological factors. It can be caused by immune system weaknesses like HIV and AIDS because of reduced ability to destroy abnormal cells. It can be caused by hormonal factors not known. They just come. Hormone replacement therapies. They just come for themselves. And then occupational exposure, random DNA mutations. So those, I think that is the topic of the day, and I've given a very nice topic on DNA and how cancer starts from the DNA. So as we continue, we will continue having talks on specific types of cancers and how they are and how we can avoid them as we continue. And we will see tumors and benign tumors. We will see several cancers that can be managed, cancers that can be avoided, cancers that can be treated, and those that cannot be treated, they can just be contained. And then at the end of cancer session, we always talk of palliative management of cancer patients and how we can manage them. Anyone who has a question, 5 minutes now. I got 5 minutes to go. Anyone, a question time. Now I've talked so much today. I've talked for 2 hours. So anyone who has a question, let me give someone who has a question now to talk. Anyone who has a question to talk. It is time for anyone who has a question to talk. Let me keep quiet. Anyone who can add something about cancer, because now we know, we have explained how cancer comes. It was just an introduction to cancer, So let's see, anyone who has a question before I log out, or any topic that you would like me to paraphrase as we go on with the topic of cancer. Anyone? As we make the likes to 20. If you have not liked, we have 19 likes only. Imagine, over 137 views. Let those likes come up to 20 now. Come out to 20 likes. As I wait for any question before my time elapses. My time is about to elapse. Anyone who wants to say something? Because you are a fantastic teacher, everyone understands. Clap for myself. Thank you so much, Smile in the City. Thank you so much, Smile in the City. Herbs and spice, 100%, I agree. Thank you so much, Herbs and Spice, for that. Thank you so much. And at least now I've said, you understand that is the basic thing when it comes to cancer. The cell affected is what dictates the kind of name that we will give the cancer. So when you hear about osteosarcoma, cancer of the bone, osteo means bone. So it just says the cells of the bones, when they are starting, they have cancer. Thank you so much, Efasi Lipenga. And when we talk about leukemia, leukocytes are cells of the white blood cells. So it says you have problem with your white blood cells. So cancer comes from the cell affected. Its name is carried from the cell affected. From today, I think you know. So from tomorrow, we start dealing with which suggest, my friend. From tomorrow, which type of cancer have you ever had, which is so random? Before I go, tell me any random. Which one do you want us to start with? It is so random that you want us to start with, because the basics I've given. Please suggest before I leave, which type of cancer do you want me to start with? I'm waiting for your suggestions. Then I'll program and put them in order so that we start tomorrow. Which one do you really want to understand? Tell me which type of cancer do you want me to start with? Breast cancer. Wow, that is breast cancer. Wow. Okay, breast cancer. It seems this breast cancer is common everywhere. Anyone else? I have two breast cancers. Anyone else? Two breast cancers there. We will tomorrow breast cancer. The third one, the last one. Anyone else? Which cancer do you want us to start? Lung cancer, I've overruled. Lung cancer. Anyone for breast or lung? I want to talk a cancer to start with tomorrow. I've written down how we'll go about it, but prostate have overruled. The one with more will start tomorrow. Prostate. Any other? Bone cancer. Ridley has bone cancer, lung cancer, prostate cancer. Anyone else, my friends? Any talk for tomorrow? But I think today, even if someone will go through the video, this person will understand where cancer starts from. so that when we are talking tomorrow, we will be relating with this talk of today. So I think who else is watching? Who else is watching and can suggest the last one? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need an even number, an even number, an even number, an even number. Which one do you want us to start with? We have 6: breast cancer, lung cancer, prostate, bone cancer. Yes, the next one. Let's have an even number before I go. An even number before I go. The next one, anyone who thinks we can start with any other cancer, or breast cancer, or lung cancer, or prostate, or bone cancer, please, come on. Anyone else thinking of cancer? People are afraid of cancer. They don't want to comment about cancer. Anyone else? Please. Prostate. So, prostate. Now, tomorrow I'll see if we'll start with breast cancer or prostate cancer, because they have tied. So, everyone, have a lovely evening. My time is out with 1 minute. Everywhere you are, be blessed, and share this talk with anyone out there. I think we have had a very good session. Bye. See you. I'll see you. Those who will be at Jamaican Uncle, I'll see you there. Up to tomorrow when we are talking about breast cancer or prostate. Bye. See you.